want to talk to you a little bit about propaganda that you see maybe every day, at least people here in New York, and they have no idea what they're even looking at. When, everybody says that evil oil companies, oh, they're so evil, they're so bad. Well, maybe. Rockefeller, quintessential capitalist, right? Rockefeller had Standard Oil. That's how he made all of his money. Well, Standard Oil had this big Gothic building downtown in New York, and they wanted to change it and update it, and there was no real American architecture in New York City, in the whole world. They decided to do something completely different, streamlined, different. Let me show you something, a clip from the Today Show. You've seen this if you or your wife watch the Today Show anytime. You will see this scene. They always do a concert in the summer right here. Well, this is a little area. I want to go focus on this building over here. This is where the Today Show is. This is all part of Rockefeller Plaza. If you show me the door frame of this building here, again, this is Rockefeller Plaza. Here's the door frame of this building. This is where the concerts are. There's this man and this man. Well, let's see. He's holding a hammer and there's weed over there, so this must be the worker. Can you show me this guy, please? This must be the worker. Yes, because he has the hammer here, the worker. Now show me the other door frame. Here's the farmer. Oh, there's the wheat, but what's this? This is a sickle. Gee, the hammer and the sickle. Where has anybody seen that before? Oh, you know what? Show it. This is it. This is from Moscow. The farmer and the worker. The hammer and the sickle. This capitalist had a hammer and a sickle? Had the worker and the farmer, just like Moscow on his building? A progressive? I thought they hated communism. They don't ever want to do that. Well, they certainly hate fascism. We know that. I'll just show you the front of the building 636 Fifth Avenue. I walked by this the other day with my wife, and I stopped there and I showed her all of this stuff, and it drives me nuts that nobody knows what this is. This is a relief. This was actually made by an Italian artist. He did a lot of the artwork here in New York City. But let me show you what it is. Here's a guy with the horses on a chariot, and there's a kid here with the sun. So let's just take it piece by piece, and I'll show you what this means. First, the sun. The sun represents the bright tomorrow. Right here underneath the boy. Here's the sun. Show me the boy. This is the youth. The next one is the youth here, leading the way. Notice he's ahead of the horses. He's leading the way into the bright future of tomorrow. Now, this man standing on a chariot, the wheel. The wheel is always representative of industry in any of these progressive pictures or paintings or artwork. So you've got the wheel. Now, let's go to the horses, please. He's standing on a chariot. You've got the industry and the engines of industry. But who's in the back here? Let's show you his hand. This man's strong hand is holding on to the reins tightly here, holding back the engines of industry, being led into the bright future of tomorrow by a young boy. Who is this? Who is this? This is the strong leader, using that industry and those machines to lead us into the bright future, led by our children. Gee, who's having indoctrination next week? Oh, yeah, that's right, the president. Completely unrelated. This represents, at the time this was made, Mussolini. This was Mussolini. By the way, the artist that made this, his son, ironically and tragically, died fighting the army of Mussolini years after this was made. This still is up in Rockefeller Plaza. So you have the hammer and the sickle, you have the artwork to Mussolini there, here in New York at Rockefeller Plaza. Oil money, it's so evil, and they're just such big capitalists. Rockefeller Plaza. Show something else here, show the next piece. This is a relief from one of the other buildings. Isaiah. They're going to beat their swords into plowshares. That is such a great idea, isn't it? In fact, it looks a little like this. This is actually sitting on my desk. I keep this on my desk to remind myself that very beautiful things can come from really ugly places. This is actually a prototype. If you look down here at the bottom of it, I don't know if you can see, okay? And actually, let me show you the other side here. You show the other side. There it is. Made in the USSR. What is this? This is actually an image that was made of this. This man beating the sword into a plowshare. That sits here in New York City. It was a gift from the former Soviet Union. It sits behind this building. The United Nations, which happens to sit on land donated to the United States and the world by Rockefeller. Oh my gosh. Well, he hates communism, he hates fascism. We have more evidence. I'll show you something that was in the lobby of 30 Rock. Wait a minute, the headquarters of NBC? What? This administration is now beginning to use art as propaganda. It's nothing new to 20th century progressives. It has been around for a very long time. But I want you to understand who these progressives are and what's happening to our country has been a long time in the coming. I showed you the NBC building. I've been showing you some of the things from Rockefeller Plaza that have been in plain sight, for all these years. During the height of the Cold War, hammer and sickle and the fascist Mussolini carved there in Rockefeller Plaza, and nobody notices it. Diego Rivera recreated the mural Man at the Crossroads. It can now be found at the Palace of Fine Arts in Mexico City, but it originally was in the lobby of 30 Rock, NBC. Ready? Let me show this to you. They actually broke it because it became too controversial, because some crazy journalist made a stink about it. Here it is. Okay? First, let me show you what everything means. It's going to be hard to see, but in the background, here's a crowd of Americans. In the background, you see the police beating people. Angry mobs, I guess. Here's the evil army of capitalism up here with the gas mask and the warplanes and everything. Capitalism, army, awful. Then there's the wonderful people over here of Moscow. And here are the onion domes of Moscow, and it's very peaceful here. Oh, down here is, looks like Karl Marx. Then you have disease here. This is all the things that are going on over the world. Man's trying to control it here. This is disease. Right above syphilis is right here. Oh, Rockefeller. Yeah, the artist didn't like Rockefeller too much, even though Rockefeller commissioned this art for the lobby of NBC. And then one other thing. Who's the savior? Oh, right over here. Lenin. Don't let any of these people ever tell you anything other than the truth. And that is, early 20th century progressives and the progressives of today, it makes sense that we're headed down this road. It makes sense that you feel a little uneasy and everything seems to be a little hidden. It's not if you look. All of the images that I've shown you here, thousands of people walk by every single day. Jack, our sound engineer, how long do you work in that building, Jack? 29 years he's been walking by that stuff. He said, I never even seen it. I've never noticed it. Of course not, until somebody points it out. Now that I've pointed it out, Jack, I guarantee you, every time you're walking with somebody, you will see it and you'll point it out. That's your job. I'm trying to show you the things that seem to be hidden, but they're not. They are out in plain sight. Those with eyes will not see, and those with ears will not hear. You're awake. You need to see the things that are hidden in plain sight. Progressives, fascists, communists. Now, what do they all have in common today? Well, that's something you're going to have to figure out. But look at these with wide eyes. Look at these things and say, wait a minute, hang on just a second. Oh, by the way, one other little tidbit, completely unrelated. Commissioned by Rockefeller. All the things hidden by Rockefeller. A progressive, a big leader. The Rockefeller Foundation, they gave a big award and an awful lot of credibility to, Van Jones, our new green job czar. Yeah. Wow, that seems weird, huh?